I'll show you I'm best in the world in this way. I will change female pro wrestling world. I am the NXT Women's Champion.
Your title! Oh, shoot.
Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell, this is DS!
I am your dad bod demigod, my name's Joey Mayberry.
I am the interdimensional She-Ro
And we are here for the TakeOver Stand and Deliver!
You said stand, right?
Oh.
Joey was standing, but let's talk about the delivering part. Moxie, do you want to break the news?
If you haven't seen my social media, I have been slinging houses and fighting nausea because Ms. Moxie Molly is gonna be Mama Molly come October.
Yes!
That's why I have double chins already.
Oh my god. You have a halo behind you right now.
I know, I was like, she looks like Easter.
You're like opposite of whatever Lil Nas is doing. So today we're gonna review TakeOver Stand and Deliver, and it is the biggest takeover of all because there were 2 nights of it. And I just want to say, great presentation, right?
Yes.
From Peacock?
To reiterate what Moxie just said, Peacock, no me gusta. But NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, me gusta. Totally great.
Peacock minus anything DS does because it's wonderful.
That's another news. I recently changed my job. I now work for Peacock. I'm a video producer at NBC, but I don't make WWE stuff, so don't send me complaints about WWE, by the way.
I have a couple to file.
Inside the takeover itself, the presentation looks awesome. When they were showing like names behind them in the Titantron, oh my god.
Also, both nights with these live intros, like Nina Strauss doing the national anthem, and then night 2 with Poppy just coming out, and even my vocal cords hurt after watching Poppy do a performance.
Also, I love the microphone coming down.
That's what I was about to say! I was about to say, it's really cool to have the microphone come down like a traditional boxing match. It's so cool.
But let's start with the kickoff match. It's Zoey Stark versus Toni Storm. And the commentary, we had the future Hall of Famer, Mickie James.
I loved Mickie being on commentary. This is fantastic. I think she's got like one of those just iconic voices because I tuned in halfway through, so I was like, wait, that's Mickie James. And then they panned over to her. I'm like, yes!
I also like how Mickie James was actually offering thoughtful commentary as opposed to just talking about what they had for dinner or pushing the WWE network, though it no longer exists. Not to knock what Renee Young would do on commentary, but she was a little more corporate, where Mickey's a little more like, I'm here to talk wrestling.
I mean, also Vince was screaming inside Renee's ear the entire time. Mickie really is a national treasure. She shouldn't be. I mean, if anything, I like that she's doing this, but she should be really up on the ring, like feuding with Chelsea Green, whatever she's doing in social media. But let's talk about this match. Zoey Stark getting this match. What do you guys think about Zoey Stark?
I love her. I think she brings a brand new element that we haven't really seen because she is like powerhouse that does all of this innovative stuff. Like her finisher, that flip over into the knee, is insane. And then as far as her build and the way that she works and kind of methodically picks people apart in the ring, I'm picking up very young Charlotte Flair with like the athleticism of a Bianca Belair, and she could be a force.
I know there was like a lot of controversy and chit chat on our Discord about how quickly she got a match like this, especially at WrestleMania. I think we're gonna see her surpass NXT pretty quickly.
So I am actually kind of surprised because she was brought in with Gigi Dolin, who's Priscilla Kelly, and Cora Jade, who's also Elena Black, 2 of our indie darlings, right? I was least interested in Zoey out of them, so it was kind of interesting to see her get that push. And when I saw her come out to that entrance, she kind of looks like Creed, a wrestler. To me, I was like, she just had a blonde hair.
You know what? I was thinking that about her gear even tonight. Like, her gear looks like she's Candice LeRae when Candice LeRae was a face. Right. So I do wish we kind of know what Zoey Stark is supposed to be.
It's a cow realness, yes.
Until they actually give her something, because I agree, like, her personality really doesn't show through. but she's got that athleticism and she's got that in-ring prowess.
And her arms!
And those arms, they're so big. She's got anchor arms because she's not ripped. She's a jerk.
The way she just moves in the ring, the way she slides on the mat, missile drop kick, the way she like does the pin again, like the movement, I think it's very unique. So I think that she has something there. I mean, it's really not her fault because she was just put to TV right after she was brought in. So she didn't have that time like, say, Aaliyah to build her character for years. But I think she definitely needs a complete rebranding. Because right now, with that type of moveset and her cotton candy color with the blonde hair, it's not working for me.
I mean, is it rebranding if we're just establishing a brand? I think it's just branding at this point.
How many people have like comic book or something like inspired gear? Like her last name's Stark, like make her look like she's Iron Man or something. She definitely has the arms for that. You know what I mean? Like a Z that looks like the Avenger Z or something like that. Like
I already love her 3000, so it's fine.
That is Tegan Nox's thing. Tegan Nox is both Molly Holly and Kane and Marvel superhero.
Why is her name not Marvel Holly?
Okay, let's talk about Toni Storm though. Let's talk about Don't Time.
This was not the best showing for Toni Storm. It really wasn't. This seemed like it was a match that was supposed to really just put over Zoey. Like, it seemed like Toni was an afterthought as far as this match booking goes.
Right towards the end, Toni usually has them in reverse to pick them up for her finisher. Zoey somehow got into it reversed, and there was a lot of awkwardness there. So I am going to say high five for Toni to just go with the awkwardness. Then she like awkwardly pinned, but you could tell it was to communicate like, hey, blah, blah, blah. So although this wasn't Toni's best showing, I still give her props for being the ring general. Like, she fixed what a very awkward, rickety situation was. That is to say, the ending that was planned, I feel like was going to look awkward anyway. It's kind of just an awkward way they went into that pin. So I'm going to give Toni Storm her props. She kept it together and she was ring general like she ought to be. She's, even if she hasn't been working as long as Zoey in the indies.
Has Zoey been wrestling for a very long time?
I didn't know of Zoey Stark until she got signed, but Tommy, my partner on Tops and Bottoms, does. So Tommy Purr knows her. She trained out in Vegas. She's been training for quite a while now, so she's really made a name for herself out on the West Coast.
I actually love, so right before Toni did her Storm Zero, which is a finisher that I'm like fine with, she did this really cool move. It's like almost like a glam slam, but from shoulder elevation. Like, I thought that was a great move. So with Toni Storm, we've been kind of meh on her just generally. We've been very lukewarm. But the thing is, like, I feel like she'll be so good on main roster because she got the look, she's got the charisma. Just when she's putting that sunglasses on, like, I'm drawn into her. You know, Toni Storm's got that charisma, uniqueness, what's the N? Nerve and talent, but the NXT is just an environment where like they value talent, athletic talent a lot more. So I feel like compared to like Io and like Raquel and like she's just like not shining as much. But I feel like she would do so well on main roster. What do you think?
Ruby Riott has a lot of charisma and she's great in the ring. Liv Morgan has a lot of charisma and she's great in the ring. Peyton Royce is great in the ring and she can cut a decent promo from what we learned in Raw. There's a lot of women who are still being underutilized on the main roster that can do equally as good in the ring as Toni Storm can.
I do think if they give her a chance, as they should give most of the people a chance that Joey just mentioned, I think that Toni Storm, as a blonde or whatever she is, would just blow most of the talent on the main roster right now out of the water.
So this match, Toni Storm sad. I wonder if this is like WWE saying that they're kind of done with Toni Storm. I don't know. They're like making her job or like push this new star. So I felt kind of bad, but we'll see how this goes. Shall we move to the main event of day one?
Yes, because Lord, what a match. Okay, so it was Raquel González finally going head-to-head with Io Shirai in the main event of NXT TakeOver Night 1. And I want to emphasize this so that Vince McMahon hears it. Main event of TakeOver Night 1. Women can main event, and they can do it with a freaking grace and style that half the men can't.
Without Ronda Rousey.
Who? This match, Io Shirai, like, I feel like Raquel took a lot of hits in this match. She really didn't show how much of a powerhouse she was, because she was really grounded by Io in this, and it was a great showing for her as champion.
Io was really shining for the beginning 3/4 of the match, like she ought to. This is the first match, or first wrestling, I watched probably in 6 months. I had to take a break from it. I wasn't excited by it anymore. This match kept me enthralled, that I was like, wait, it's over now? Like, I think it could have gone on more. So thank you, WWE, for like give me such a spectacle in the most glorious way. I think right away we would think that they're gonna do the big versus little sort of chop the tree down thing. And that story did get over, but I love that they still use the traditional wrestling of working apart, and the part that Io was working was Raquel's core, which makes a lot of sense because it takes a lot of core strength to do that final one-arm finisher. And so I think Io Shirai shined a lot for the first 3/4, even with Dakota Kai trying to get in, and then of course the ref with the token like, you're out of here, so props for him.
She was actually out of the ring pretty early on in the match. I was actually pretty happy about that.
Me too, because I think that if they would have used her more, it would give less credit to Raquel. But I think Raquel started shining right when she needed to, and it just made a really amazing match.
Also, seeing Dakota get just kicked out after the ref caught her cheating and not just instantly going to a DQ like how we've been conditioned to see WWE do every single match, I was so happy, because that's what a referee should do. I see a problem, I get rid of the problem, match goes on.
This match was really interesting because, you know, like Io, when she did that like moonsault from second rope to outside, holy shit moment, it was just like, but it was so effortless.
I know, I wrote down in my notes, like, this bitch is so agile. I could train for the next 10 years of my life every single day for 8 hours, and I will never be as agile as her.
It's from both sides. Like, Io does all these oh my god spots like just like that, so easy, but also Raquel is doing all these power moves just like that, so easy. So it's like both effortless, going boom, 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 boom. So it's like, it was so amazing.
And then how you talked about her moonsault from the second rope to the outside, let's not forget about her getting on top of the skull.
That was where I was going, this whole jump.
I think it's her thing. Like, she just wants to climb somewhere now. She's like, what can I climb today?
See her take out like suction cups and like climb the plexiglass.
Like Britney Spears and Toxic?
Yeah. I just want to say, they were out of the ring for way more than a 10
The
minutes.
referee is like, don't give a f***. He's like, I'm not gonna count.
They were out for like a 50 count. And I was like, wait, ref, I was giving you props, but now you're kind of just throwing the rule book. And then I kind of like checked my phone really quick, like, was this a no DQ? But it wasn't.
But can we talk about that lariat to Io?
That just turned her inside out. Like, I've seen so many indie matches, and I've seen the AEW matches, and the very indie-tastic things where every, like, comeback clothesline turns someone inside out and makes the crowd go, oh. This one did it with such a purpose. Like, when she collided and hit, I didn't even need Io to oversell it. You know, thank God she did. But just the thud of that clothesline mixed with her doing it, I was like, that's it. That's what we need on every single one of those times that move gets hit.
Like Joey kind of brought up, that's sort of like a staple for the other brand. You see it in almost every match. This, even though we've seen that so often, it just was more exciting. I can't explain it. I think it's literally what Joey just said, but we're so used to seeing it, but this, like, wasn't like, oh cool, it's a universal like everyone does. Like, it was just exciting. And I do want to add, although I think it's kind of unsafe to have that many people in the crowd, it's really nice to watch wrestling with a crowd again, because I mean, you can hear the hooting and hollering from the people from their, you know, from at home, but just those screams right there and the people hitting the plexiglass, it made this match and that move too just like so much like I was living.
What did you think of the finish, by the way? What did you think of the finish?
I didn't dislike the finish. I felt like it felt a little bit kind of out of nowhere just because Io was in such control of that match for a vast majority of it. But the thing about it is it's Raquel González, and she's big, and she's planting you to the ground. So that I can accept.
I actually read the news article saying that the match got shorter because the other match ran longer. This was actually one of the shorter matches of the card.
To all our fans out there, because a lot of you tell us that you're going to want to be a wrestler someday, if you're that douchebag on the card that takes away from other people's time, like, everyone hates you. Stick to your times, okay? But I do want to say this finish, I agree with what Joey said, it was out of nowhere, and at first I was kind of mad about it. I was like, wait, Io was so on top this entire time, that came out of nowhere. But then you think about the psychology of it, and it's like, oh, that's how much they're building Raquel up. Like, she's taking a beating, and out of nowhere, BAM! After over 300 days, because as soon as I saw Io Shirai's music hit and her coming out, I was like, she's still the champion? Because I haven't watched wrestling in so long. And then I was like, she's been the champion for a long time, and then the little screen, boop, 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 300 plus days. I just think it showed how powerful, it's supposed to show how powerful Raquel is. She's gotten the snot beat out of her, and boom, she finally beats the longest reigning, I'm probably incorrect about that, NXT Women's Champion.
I liked the ending. It was like kind of out of nowhere, like you said. I mean, they definitely could have gone for another 10 minutes, but it was like simple, it was powerful, and we were shocked. We were gagged. The only tweak I'll say is that right before the ending, Raquel had that emotional moment. She was like, what would I have to do to put you down? I think she needs a little bit of more of an acting class, because I was like, I wanted to feel it a little more. She's like such a monster, but I think even in the interviews, sometimes, I don't know how you feel. I feel like she needs a little bit more of charisma, or like when she speaks.
Yeah, there's some fine tuning that can definitely be done. I think she's on the right path, but we do have to also remember this is developmental still.
I definitely see that she's on the right path with her. The jacket she was wearing when she was entering, just she's perfecting her look.
Can I go ahead and pitch something really quick? Speaking of entrances and looks and how she does it. Can she please have a shirt that says "Baby Got Back"? Because she has the best back in the entire business.
She has had an equal glow up to Khloe Kardashian. She is like Khloe Kardashian as far as glow ups go. Like, I was like, damn girl.
I also think like she is a character that's going to continue to develop, and that's really exciting for me. Because we've seen so many champions that are already like done developing. You know, Io Shirai was already fully evolved Pokemon, and she should just go to WWE main roster already and dominate it already, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Raquel González, I think she's still developing, and that's exciting to see as a champion, yeah.
Remember that Io didn't arrive as a fully evolved Pokemon. She was still Lucha Mask, hold it up when she arrived.
With my favorite theme song.
Spin the bottle 2.0.
I feel like Raquel, like you said, acting classes, I feel like she's in this mindset where she's like, because even at the end when people were yelling, she's like, I did that. She thinks in her head like, heels talk like this.
I kind of want to see her pick up a little bit from what Nia Jax is doing. That kind of like, I am the baddest in the room kind of smugness. That overall attitude that Nia gives. Because she doesn't walk in like a monster. She walks in like, this is my house, I own it. And that's the attitude she carries with herself. Might not be the same thing when you get inside the ring, but that is how she carries herself.
Nia definitely is she's not like most girls. She's definitely not like most monster girls for sure. I just want like a simple, that classic monster heel vibe. And maybe that's something that Raquel probably doesn't want to do, but maybe I kind of want to see it. I don't know. I guess it's up to what you guys like. So what's in the future for Io? What do you think?
Unfortunately, the main roster.
I think they're going to call her up, which is sad because, well, we all know why.
Commentary claimed that Raquel González was the first person to hold the tag team championship and the women's championship.
Ember's like, F you!
And she should be. It's like she's holding the belt now. And you forgot about it.
And then she forgot the belt when she walked in today.
Did she?
Just a second. But
Your title! Oh, shoot. Okay.
I did not see that. Let's go to that match right now. The NXT Women's Tag Team Championship.
This was fun. You know what's really strange to me is I don't know what exactly Shotzi and Ember are or what they're supposed to be, but I kind of love it. I'm like Ross Matthews when it comes to Candy Muse. That's how I am with Ember and Shotzi. I'm like, I just like this. I want more of this.
I love that Shotzi playing with her hair. I mean, she looked fun. And then even Ember's purple hair.
And the talking animal skull mask in the entrance is like, okay.
Explain us a little bit more about The Way.
To explain The Way, I am wearing the perfect shirt for it. So basically The Way is Candice and Johnny taking on mentees. That's it. I was thinking manatee, and I was like, that is not correct. Basically, they have kind of adopted Austin Theory and Indi Hartwell into the Gargano clan, claim them as The Way, and now they're it's basically their young boy and young girl. That's how they're tag teaming. It's a nice little faction that I absolutely love, and I love that Indi is in love with Dexter Lumis. # Index for life.
Wasn't Austin Theory also in love with Dexter Lumis too?
# would watch that.
Yeah, I mean, Candice LeRae looked really cute with a little medieval warrior queen look.
First of all, I want to say The Way sounds
too Disney.
Suspiciously like the Dark Order.
There's no such thing as too Disney.
So now she's doing a Celtic princess thing? Because I was like, that's not a fairy, whatever she did.
I think she's exploring through the Disney Magic Kingdom just in general. She's just grabbing all the costumes.
That's kind of accurate, no lie.
What was a standout moment for you guys?
Probably that new tag team combo that I saw out of Ember and Shotzi, where basically she had her in that reversal and then she came through and they did the slide into the flatline.
The one thing that stands out to me really was Ember's dance, and she was like DX boom boom boom, and then she just punched the heck out of the. That was something.
Because she's gonna wiggle to the top. Wiggle to the top.
My standout moment was when Ember forgot the tag title.
You did not like this match, did you?
Not that I didn't like it. It's just I feel like watching the Raquel and Io Shirai match before the other two we discussed ruined it. This one didn't keep my attention like the other one did.
I know what Ember and Shotzi can do already from, last TakeOver they had an absolutely amazing tag match against Dakota and Raquel. So I know already what they can do. I was actually really excited to see Indi really go in the ring because Candice, she could go. So I was really excited to see more from that team. I wasn't very fulfilled in that sense.
I can agree with that. It didn't feel like they got to showcase as much as what they can do as a tag team, because I felt like I did get more out of Indi and Candice in their matches during the Dusty Cup than I did from this tag team match.
If anything, though, their tag team division is miles better than... Actually, no, I am actually really excited about WrestleMania Tag Team Turmoil match.
Basically, they took all the tag teams that they could possibly come up with on the main roster and put them into a Turmoil match. I'm not upset about it for Mania. I just am like... Come on, you guys. Y'all didn't want to give Nia and Shayna any storyline other than centered around the main title pictures. You couldn't give them a little side thing to go into something.
So with the NXT's women's tag team division, what do you think we can see from them in the future?
I think the NXT women's division, tag or singles, is the best women's division on the planet right now. The only thing we're going to see out of them is more and more mind-blowing stuff that we're not seeing on other products, which is exciting!
It's very exciting. The only thing that I'm a little worried about is now the NXT Women's Championship is on someone who's part of a tag team. So please don't loop these two titles together like you have on the main roster.
We don't need another champion 2 belts. We don't. It's been such a 2020 theme, and we're all kissing 2020 goodbye.
There are exciting teams down there. I liked Aaliyah and Mercedes Martinez team.
From what they said, it was Mercedes filling in for Jessica Maya because Jessie was injured. So I'm not sure if that's what's going on. But to tell you the truth, I love Casey and Caden. But the team that I'm now interested in seeing possibly tag together is going to be Mei Ying and Xia Li, because they kind of teased that could be a thing last week on NXT. So if we finally get to see Mei Ying step into a ring and see what kind of goes on with that, 100% for it.
Again, like NXT has so many great talent down there, from all the way from Aaliyah, who's never seemed to get a chance or a chance to have a breakout moment.
Aaliyah, if you ever watch our channel, please know that our fans in the Discord are always like, when's Aaliyah gonna get her chance? When's Aaliyah gonna get her chance? We're all about you, girl, so we're hoping.
Hopefully great thing will come from NXT Tag Team Division. But anyway, that is our review for the NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. And we've got a stacked content coming up because it's WrestleMania weekend. So we have this coming up today, weekly live review with Joey.
Yes, it will be this week. DS will be here, Paloma Star will be reviewing, and we have a special guest host, Miss Mariah May from the UK will be here.
I love her!
Yes, and then we also have WrestleMania review coming up next week. We also have a Hall of Fame dress, toot and boot, with Kimura Hall, and she was wearing the finale dress from her RuPaul's Drag Race finale. Oh. So that will air right after the finale episode, because I legally cannot air that until that episode. So I'm just letting you know.
To see it before?
No, I don't want to be sued by RuPaul, so that's not going to air until then, which is in 2 weeks.
Don't get sued by RuPaul. That would be fracking horrible.
Stacked weekend for all of us, but Joey, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Joey_Mayberry, Joey.Mayberry on TikTok. Also check out my YouTube channel, and you can check out my podcast, Tops and Bottoms, where me and Tommy Purr talk about men's wrestling, women's wrestling, and whatever our gay selves can think of.
You can find me across all social media platforms at that's THEE, Moxie Molly, and coming to a hospital bed near you soon.
And you can find me at DShin and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter, and you can find this t-shirt Diva stand on our Teespring, and you can also talk to us all the time, not 24/7, but mostly all the time on our Patreon exclusive Discord channel. Okay, I will see you next. Bye!
Bye!